What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching another disturbing video. Corporations are privatizing tap water and you're paying the price. Great. I'm excited. Here we go.
The challenge that we have today is when I have a senior citizen call me and tell me she's peeing in the backyard because her water bill and her sewer bill doubled. And no one cared about that.
Immediately, no. Unacceptable.
Across the country, private companies are swooping in to buy water and sewer systems from the local governments that own them. The result for customers? Skyrocketing bills more than double what they used to be at a time when inflation is hitting America.
Guys, this is really scary. Do you guys realize how scary this is? Large corporations are going to make water a scarce resource that you have to pay a lot of money to have clean running water in your home. Where are we living? Are we in hell already? Is that what happened? Did Earth spin off and we landed in hell? Because it feels like it sometimes.
Americans' wallets hard.
The motive for investor-owned utilities is profit, revenue, and that's what matters. It's not water quality. It's not reliability.
I just want to take a second. Have you ever thought about what the world would be like if there was no money? And if instead it was just, little communities and we all gardened and we, did our crafts and, hunted for food and grew our own food and life was just simpler. There were no large corporations at all. They were just completely eradicated from the face of the earth. That's how I like to picture the future. It is. I'm going to keep picturing that. We should all together collectively picture that and make it happen.
It's not whether the customers are happy. It's not your neighbor. It's just a money-making machine.
They present their efforts as a win-win scenario to save taxpayers money and local governments from financial ruin.
Aqua pitched it as free money. Money you can do anything you want.
Again, nothing is free, people, especially money.
What really that is just a bait and switch technique. They promise the world and they deliver pain to the customers who have to foot the bill into perpetuity.
And over the past decade, investor-owned corporations have successfully lobbied many state governments, like Pennsylvania, to make it easier and more attractive for local governments to make the sale.
Well, that's fantastic. I live in Pennsylvania. I'll be attending lots of town meetings from now on, and they're going to hate me.
And when those companies come knocking in their town, many people don't know what's happening until it's too late.
It generally isn't done in broad daylight. Nobody's for it.
This is a story about the corporate takeover of one of our most important natural resources, the consequences for communities, and how an unlikely coalition of people are fighting to keep water public and affordable.
I see these signs everywhere where I live and all over, obviously, Pennsylvania. And I never knew what they meant. And I can't believe I'm ashamed of myself for never even thinking to look this up. I need to find this organization and be a part of it. Seriously. We should all form little coalitions like this, little tiny organizations to stop this, okay? We can't allow this to happen here. This is a big no. If we allow this to happen and we allow corporations to just buy up all of our water like that, I hate to say it, but we don't deserve freedom at that point. If we all just sit on our asses and do nothing, I'm ashamed to be a human being sometimes, truly.
In 2020, the township of New Garden, Pennsylvania sold their sewer system to Aqua Pennsylvania for nearly $30 million. Aqua Pennsylvania is a subsidiary of Essential Utilities, a publicly traded corporation that had more than $2 billion in revenue in 2023.
They basically came in and said, New Garden, we can give you this money. You could do your whatever projects you want to do with it. We'll take over your sewer system. We'll run it better than you have run it. And this will be basically a seamless transaction. There was very little in the way of hearings. Very few people knew about it. And quite frankly, very few people are even thinking about it.
Yeah, that's the sickest thing about all of this kind of stuff. BlackRock, they do the same kind of thing. They all make these big purchases and they do these big bribes under the table and without people looking and without people noticing, because they don't want people to notice, because they know that this is very wrong. They know that this is absolutely disgusting, that this is a complete violation of natural law, of human rights, all of it. They know, and that's why they keep it secret.
We were told that it was a great deal because there was a rate freeze and a limit on how much the rates would go up after the rate freeze. That rate cap and growth rate was later eliminated before the sale was executed.
Everything looked about the same for maybe about 6 months to a year. But all of a sudden the rates went up. They started to double and triple. And when people started to see the bills, they basically started to call Aqua to say, why is my bill so high?
My June 2022 bill for 13,000 gallons was $234.27. My very next bill, and this was when the rate increase had gone into effect, I used 1,000 gallons less, 12,000 gallons, and the bill was $413.33.
I just think it's crazy that we have to pay for water on this earth. You know, we were born here, and we have to pay to be here. Isn't that great?
You call Aqua's customer service line, they can't help you, they don't know what's going on. People feel frustrated that nobody is taking responsibility
Wow.
for what has happened.
So why are private companies so interested in buying water and sewer systems now? In recent years, more and more
Because they want to make our lives even more miserable and also make money off of it. That's the reason. That's what I think.
states have passed industry-backed laws encouraging these sales. These are called fair market value laws. And in Pennsylvania, they passed one in 2016 known as Act 12.
For a long time, we've had concerns about small water systems in terms of their capacity to be compliant with all appropriate environmental and other regulations. So that became one of the rationales to try to stimulate the market for selling a water system and its assets to a provider that could perhaps bring expertise and capacity to managing that system.
Act 12 created a process by which more factors like income, expected repairs, and future revenue are included in the value of the system. This usually results in a higher sale price.
As high as $1 billion was offered to Bucks County for.
Guys, I had no idea this was an issue in my state. I have a whole other purpose to my life now. Like, you don't even understand. I'm very passionate about water, okay? I have a special water filter. Like, I understand the importance of water, and it is literally, it gives us life, okay? It's very important for our health and for all the biological processes in our bodies. And this is so wrong. Like, I can't even express to you how wrong it is to commodify water like this.
Example.
In the case of New Garden, the amount offered was 6 times their annual budget at the time. And they see this as, isn't this wonderful?
However, what happens is, who pays for that?
Oh, I'm sure the taxpayers.
Who pays for that are the ratepayers. They get to recoup those costs, and they're recouping significant costs.
Big water companies are making their money back more quickly by charging more for the service. And private systems are generally more expensive. A 2016 study of water rates in the US's 500 largest water systems found that people with private systems paid nearly 60% more for water. In Pennsylvania, it was 84%, adding up to more than $300 per year on average.
You don't really think about it until your system has been privatized and you get a bill that was twice what it was last time.
I'm so shocked that more people aren't talking about this where I live, like truly.
One of the tactics that they use is basically to say that the infrastructure that we have is very poor. If they took over, then they would do a better job managing the infrastructure.
If the purpose of Act 12 was to help failing systems, that hasn't happened in practice.
Let me also be clear. None of the acquisitions so far have met a criteria or threshold of being troubled systems under the Public Utility Code.
So far, there have been 21 systems bought under Act 12.
Oh my gosh. Wow, I just had no idea that this was going on, that this was happening.
Industry's top trade group openly encourages local officials to sell financially stable
Sorry, I repeat myself sometimes. It's something wrong with my brain.
systems.
They want to get well-run systems because it means that there's less money they have to put into it.
That's currently playing out with one of the biggest water systems in the Philadelphia area, known as the Chester Water Authority, or CWA. Aqua is trying to buy the water authority from the city of Chester, which declared bankruptcy in 2022 for $410 million. The board of the CWA says Chester doesn't have the right to sell it. Most of the utility's customers don't even live in the city, but the surrounding areas.
We've been operating quite successfully, quite reliably. We are an award-winning authority, best tasting water in Pennsylvania.
For local
I still filter it.
officials, selling a utility provides a revenue boost that can be used to pay down debts and invest in other services. But often residents don't hear the full story.
The townships are failing their constituents in how they analyze. They see this sum of money and oh, it's wonderful, it's free, except it isn't free.
And once the local government sells their water or sewer system, the high cost and limited local government budgets mean it's almost impossible to buy back control of the system.
Oh, wow. That is scary.
I have not heard anything about why Act 12 was necessary. It appears that it was lobbied for by Big Water. Big Water has a very effective lobby effort going on in Harrisburg.
As lawmakers debated Act 12 in 2015 and 2016, Aqua spent over $500,000 lobbying the Pennsylvania legislature.
There's a lot of
This should not be allowed. Like, truly, this is just, there needs to be something done about this lobbying thing. We cannot just allow people with a ton of money to come in and give everybody a bunch of money and shut them up. Like, why are we allowing this to happen? I understand, money is money. Times are tough, but does nobody have a conscience anymore? Like, anybody in power at all? Like, do any of them give a single FUCK about regular people? Because it doesn't seem like it.
work that occurs to grease the skids, so to speak, talking to politicians, attending board meetings, presenting misinformation about what would happen if a company like Aqua comes in and takes over, and they try to garner favor through various means.
Investor-owned utilities have gained enormous political power in Pennsylvania over the last several decades. Mike Torzai was the Speaker of the Pennsylvania House when Act 12 was passed. The same year he retired from the legislature, he became the general counsel for the natural gas division of Essential Utilities,
Oh, my goodness. That's disgusting.
the corporation that owns Aqua, the industry's top trade group.
He just wanted to make a bunch of money, and that's exactly what he did.
The National Association of Water Companies is run by Robert F. Powelson, a former Trump appointee and member of the Pennsylvania Public Utilities Commission. And the current chair of the commission, Stephen DeFrank, was a lobbyist for Pennsylvania American Water and resigned from that job only a day after he was nominated for the commission.
Interesting.
Over the past 3 years, Essential Utilities has donated nearly $175,000 to candidates across the country, including Pennsylvania, and they're lobbying against repeal or extensive reforms to Act 12.
I believe the changes to undo Act 12's benefits should carefully be considered. Anything to undo those benefits would result in systems like the ones we've purchased or those that may still remain to continue to fail in their service.
Frustrated by their high sewer bills, Bill and some of his neighbors started a group called Keep Water Affordable. And they've testified at hearings and talked to people in other
I'm going to literally become a part of this organization. I'm not even kidding.
Pennsylvania towns about their experience.
If people fully understood the options open to them, I don't think there would
That was
be
my dog
anywhere
farting. I'm
near
so sorry.
the
You
number
heard
of
her.
privatizations that have gone on.
Local opposition in Bucks County defeated a $1 billion deal to sell one of the largest sewer systems in the state to Aqua. In Towamencin, residents changed their town charter to try to stop the sale of the sewer system. Some state political leaders are also calling for changes to the system.
What we oppose is privatization for its own sake, and privatization and consolidation at any cost or regardless of the cost to consumers.
The Pennsylvania legislature is debating a set of bills that its supporters hope will reduce the number of healthy systems being bought and stop costly rate hikes on consumers. The Public Utility Commission is also considering reforms, but some say those moves don't go far enough.
I believe much of what we're doing today is because of the potential transfer of the Chester Water Authority to Aqua. Would these bills stop that transaction?
I don't believe it would.
I think we should repeal Act 12, and I have introduced legislation to do just that.
The other changes that would be considered if we could not get repeal would be
Pennsylvania is so beautiful. It truly is a very unique place, and it makes me really sad and honestly really angry to see large corporations just destroying it like this and just coming in and doing whatever they please. Like, no, I'm sorry, no, you're not welcome here. No.
a much more open system of communication during the sale process and requiring a ratepayer referendum to approve the sale.
The Chester Water Authority's fate is now tied up in the courts. Its story could be a cautionary tale for people around the country about laws like Act 12 and corporate takeovers of public systems.
The message I think that I would like to give to ratepayers where there is talk of a takeover or a purchase of their public utility system by an investor-owned utility, don't believe what they're saying. It's a bait and switch game, and your rates are gonna skyrocket.
Wow. I also just real quick, I want to show you guys the actual website for Keep Water Affordable, just so you can see what it looks like. So here we are on here. Just so you guys can see keepwateraffordable.org, okay? Go there, especially looking to see if this is happening in your area, guys. This is like a huge issue. So, yeah, keep water affordable for everyone. Keep it clean for everyone. Keep the earth beautiful. Let's all try to do as much as we can to do that, guys, and stop these large corporations from destroying everything, okay? Have a great day. Maintain that rebellious spirit, guys. Love you. Bye.